What's up guys, PPD here, and welcome to episode 6 of my road to Manchester City. Starting off this episode by opening up the daily gift that we got, and we get ourselves a Bundesliga goalkeeper, which isn't that great because there isn't a Bundesliga challenge right now, but definitely a player we can save for the future. We then go ahead and look at our transfer list, and we see that all the Aspases that we bought at the end of last episode for around 600 to 800 coins have sold for 1,200, except for that one right there, which we're going to list up. So we made some decent money, not amazing money, but some decent money on Aspas right there with a method that we might be doing in the future. And we go ahead and go into the squad builder challenges over here. I want to complete the kickoff one, and we start off by doing the substitutes one over here, just putting up a bunch of players that we have in our club aren't worth anything, and we all packed. So we're not really losing money over here, just getting rid of players that we don't need. And with that, we can get ourselves a premium silver players pack over here. So we go ahead and get that reward. But before we go and open it, which is something I don't recommend you do, we go ahead and jump into the marquee matchups. I wanted to get these done because I knew I was just a player away over here from completing it. And we go ahead and take a look at our club, looking for a striker. Can just put Barcos right there and it completes it. And over here, I just show you guys the prices of the players over here, and we're getting rid of the Spanish team pretty much over here because we bought a Spanish team a couple episodes ago. It was going to be the second team alongside the City team, but with the whole City thing coming up, it's a whole change of plan. We got ourselves a bunch of coins, which means we can better build ourselves better teams, and that is why I'm getting rid of the Spanish team right there. We go ahead and get that reward, and by the way, the team costed me 4,800 coins, so we gave in 4,800 coins worth of players. We got 1,000 coins back, and we got ourselves a pack, which I'm not sure if it's worth it or not, but we go ahead and do the Colombia and Uruguay one, which actually ended up costing us a little bit more because we already had the Spain players, so that's why it didn't cost as much as this one. But since we didn't really have any Colombia or Uruguay players, we had to go buy them. It ended up costing us 5,900 coins, which isn't good at all because we get ourselves a gold pack, which I believe is only a 5k pack. So already 900 coins down right there. Going to pray that we get something good over here in these packs. And we go ahead, open up the silver one. We get ourselves Kaiser over here, who, in my opinion, I think he kind of looks like Mark Wahlberg, but maybe that's just me. And he actually does go for something too. A silver guy, right mid, German in the Bundesliga. We go ahead, take a look at his price, and we see that he's going for around 3,000 coins. So that is what we're going to list him up for. So hopefully he does sell. And if he does, that kind of makes up some of the money we lost on the other challenges. So already one pack in, and we get ourselves a decent pull right there. Also a little bit destroyed right there as we get ourselves a University de Chile player right there, which would have been great a few days ago, but unfortunately I wasn't able to access the game. However, we do go ahead and open up the next pack, and we get ourselves Alonso, and I'm thinking to myself, 84 rated, Spanish player in the Bundesliga, kind of rare, so hopefully he does go for around 5,000 coins or more. Well, that wasn't the case because he ended up going for about 1,900 coins or so. So we end up listing him for 1.5. Not as good as we would have hoped, but money nonetheless. And we also get ourselves a French player over here, which is definitely going to be something we use for the other challenge in the marquee matchups, which is France and Netherlands. We get ourselves an Italian player. I thought he would go for something because of the Del Piero challenge, but he didn't really go for much. We also get ourselves Ilori over here, which actually reminds me of something that we need to talk about. Last episode, we bought some Liverpool players because I have a feeling that a Liverpool player will end up getting player of the month. And if that does end up happening, it's going to require you to have Liverpool players, which means the price is going to go up just like it happened with the City players. So praying that a Liverpool player wins player of the month. And if we do, if that does end up happening, we have a couple of Liverpool players ready. And I might actually do that with Spurs players because I believe Heung-min Son is also nominated for that award. So if he wins, Spurs players are going to be needed for that challenge. But yeah, we go ahead, jump into the daily knockout tournament, which is very important because we want to be able to qualify for FUT Champions. Today is the day it starts, the day you're seeing this, Friday. It begins today at 7 o'clock my time, and the grind is going to be very, very real for that, by the way. And like I said, we went ahead, well, I don't think I said this. We bought two teams with the money we had, Both costed around 30,000 coins. I'm quickly showing you guys the price right there if you want to stop and see, but both teams costed about 30,000 coins. The second team is right there on the bench, and it's actually the team we're going to play the final with. And yeah, we have about 25,000 coins left, which means we're going to be using those for other challenges. But I just wanted to have two decent teams ready for the weekend. And pretty much what I'm aiming for is just anywhere in the silver range I'd be happy with, because I think the rewards are pretty decent for that. So if we can place somewhere in there, that would be pretty good. But like I said, we jump into the final with the second team, a 4-3-1-2. And it does have Jonas in there playing Cam. And he was actually one of my favorite players in this team, and I only played like 3 or 4 because we got to the final first try. And we come across this guy over here, 4-3-3-4. Pretty decent team right there. Nothing too crazy, but a pretty decent team nonetheless. And something I heard about the FUT Champions daily knockout tournament is that it's not seeded, which means that if you're in the first round, you can come across somebody in the final. And if you're in the final, you can come across someone in the second round or the semifinal, which is pretty interesting and kind of explains why some games were tougher than others early on rather than later on. But so it didn't start off too great for us over here in the final, as you see right there. Great little pass and play between his players right there, and he gets the first goal of the game to make it 1-0 in the 13th minute. So Boufal with a nice little sweaty goal right there does not give us the start we would have wanted. However, in the 27th minute over here, his goalkeeper throws it. We win the header back. We get the ball back, and we end up giving it to Alex Vidal, our right back, who lays it off to Bakambu. Bakambu with a shot, but Ospina with a great save right there. Keeps him in the game. Well, keeps him up 1-0. And we get a close chance with Bakambu again. However, his header is just wide right there. So we head into the second half, 1-0 down. And I didn't show the stats because I was actually pretty mad, and I just wanted to get into the second half. But yeah, it's a pretty equal game. We've had a few more chances, but we can definitely get ourselves back into it if we play our cards right. And over here, we do a little bit of passing, and I noticed that Pato was on the ground. I tried to ignore it and hoped that he would get back up, but unfortunately, it wasn't to be. Ref calls for a stop. We have to take him off, and we bring on Callum Wilson, which I honestly did not want to bring on because I know it was going to waste fitness. And just in case we lost this, I would have had to use the next team to play with it. But hopefully, Wilson can do a little bit better than Pato was doing. He didn't really show up much, Pato. So hopefully Wilson can have an impact. And over here in the 55th minute, literally seconds after we got that injury substitute in, we are going to swing it across over here with Alex Vidal. And what do you know? Callum Wilson comes on, scores a goal, equalizes the game, and kind of becomes the hero in that play right there. So crossing could be back, by the way. I feel like crossing is more effective than it was in FIFA 16, but hopefully it doesn't become a little bit too better, because if it does, that's going to be so annoying. Over here, Bakambu finally gets his goal after a nice little pass right there from the midfield, shooting it across the goalie, which is something I'm only doing this year in FIFA 17 so far. I can't really find other ways to finish right now, so I'm just shooting across the goalkeeper and hope it goes in, and luckily it did go in right there. And over here in the 88th minute, we're still holding on to that 2-1 lead, looking for a third goal over here. Callum Wilson tries to cut inside. He loses the ball. However, he steals it right back. Our opponent just struggling to clear it out of the defense, and we're just passing it through over here, looking for an opening. Wilson to Jonas. Jonas with a great little fake shot right there. Nice little ball roll. Has a shot. Bounces to Rafinha eventually, and it goes into the back of the net. And I felt a little bit bad for our opponent because no matter what happened, the ball just kept coming back to my player's feet, and it just felt like it was destined to be a goal. But we have been on the receiving end of that many times before, so can't feel too bad. And over here, we qualify for the FUT Champions over here, get ourselves 500 coins, get ourselves a pack, and we come back from 1-0 down to win 3-1, which is very nice. And look at the stats right there. I felt like we deserved that game. So we go ahead, open up the gold pack, and we get ourselves a Russian winger, which is worth absolutely nothing. But we get ourselves Ramos over here, who might actually be worth something because of the Colombian. End up sending him to the transfer list. And we also go ahead and take a look at the shock badge price. I don't even know why I did this, but I thought it went for something. I don't think any badges at all go for anything, which, by the way, I have to buy the city badge and the stadium and the kits. I will be doing that next episode. Don't worry. I got that covered. I looked at the prices, they're pretty cheap. So that is what we're going to be doing next episode. We're going to be buying all that because it's a bit ridiculous that 6 episodes in, we still haven't gotten the badge or the stadium or the kits. But anyways, we go ahead and do the Netherlands and France challenge, which is also part of the marquee matchups right there. We spent about 2,000 coins on that one, I believe, which isn't too bad. We then go ahead and open a few bronze packs. I spent about 5,000 coins on bronze packs looking to get Australian players or Saudi Arabian players. We ended up getting a team together right there. Send that in, get 500 coins back. And with that, we complete the marquee matchups. We get an all players pack, the pack I was waiting for. And we're going to go ahead and open that one first. And who do we get? We get ourselves Robbie Keane, which isn't that great. But we're going to hold on to him just in case we ever end up doing the MLS one, which I don't see why we would, because none of those players are City players, but you never know. And over here, just checking the price of this Dutch guy because I know he's one of the challenge requirements. Also, go ahead and send the English guy, the Spanish guy, to the transfer list. But that is pretty much going to conclude this episode. Oh no, we still have 3 more packs. What am I saying? Never mind, not yet. And we just checking the prices of these MLS players. You never know. Some of these bronze guys actually go for a lot, and you just don't know it. Like the Sydney players, by the way. Over there, we got ourselves an Australian. I thought that was going to be a Sydney player. If it was, we would have had 10K in the bank, and I would have been so happy. But we get ourselves a shiny left back from the Australian League, which is still kind of in demand because you still need those guys for that challenge. Go ahead, list them up for 1,000 coins. Going to go ahead and discard all those badges and stuff because we don't need it. Send the other guys to the club for more challenges later on. We go ahead and open another pack. We get ourselves a Korean, which if Heung-min Son does end up winning the Player of the Award, is also going to be needed. I'm pretty sure you're going to need England players, players from the BPL, Spurs players, and Korean players. And I say English players, I was thinking about the Sterling thing. We end up getting Salah right there, which isn't a bad pull, to be honest. I don't think he goes for much, but yeah, 2,000 coins, not too great. But we're going to hold on to him for another challenge because we might need him. But that is going to conclude this episode of my Road to Manchester City, guys. This has been episode 6. Tune in next time, episode 7. We're going to be having all the FUT Champions games. I think I'm going to be showing the first game and the last game because I don't think you guys want to see 1 hour's worth or more of gameplay. But that is going to conclude this episode. My name is Pippi Deed, and I'm out.